The palace had always been a place of whispers, where every movement and word was watched by countless eyes, yet there was one truth I carried that no one dared to speak aloud. She was my secret, my sanctuary, my older woman whose very presence had changed the course of my life. In a world obsessed with appearances, status, and tradition, we had built something far deeper, something that could not be understood by those who measure love in years or by the ticking of a clock. I had always believed love to be an unpredictable force, but I never knew it could defy not just the rules of society, but the rules of my own heart. I remember the first time I saw her, not as a fleeting figure in the crowd, but as a woman whose eyes held the depth of oceans and the fire of 1,000 suns. She stood with the grace of someone who had lived, learned, and carried the scars of life not as burdens, but as jewels. She did not chase youth or try to mask her age with illusions. She was confident in her truth, and that very truth pulled me toward her with an intensity that no crown, no title, could shield me from. Many would expect me to choose someone younger, someone who would fit the perfect picture of a royal bride, but I have never lived for the expectations of the world. With her, every conversation felt like a new journey. She understood silence as much as she understood words. She knew when I needed to be challenged and when I needed to be comforted. She saw through the facade of Sheikh Hamdan, the public figure, and saw the man behind it, the one who sometimes carried doubts, fears, and longing. The truth no one knows is that she has been my greatest teacher. I have learned more from her than from any mentor or book. She has shown me patience when the world demanded haste. She has taught me that real beauty is not in perfection but in authenticity. She has made me see that love is not about possession, but about freedom, the freedom to be yourself completely without fear of judgment. She has never tried to fit into my world. Instead, she has made me expand mine to embrace hers. In her presence, I do not feel the weight of my responsibilities as a burden but as a calling. She encourages me to be the best version of myself, not because of the titles I hold, but because of the man I am when I stand beside her. There is a certain peace I find in her gaze, a peace that I have never found anywhere else in the world, no matter how far I've traveled. People would be shocked to know that she does not care for the luxuries that surround me. The jewelry, the grand halls, the lavish dinners, they mean nothing to her if they do not come with sincerity. She treasures small moments, a handwritten note, a walk under the moonlight, a whispered prayer before dawn. And perhaps that is why I am drawn to her so deeply, because she reminds me of what is real in a world filled with illusions. We have faced our share of criticism. There are those who have tried to convince me to choose someone more suitable, someone who would look the part on the world stage. But they do not know the truth. Without her, all of it, the fame, the power, the wealth, feels empty. She is the reason my smile is genuine, the reason my words carry weight, the reason my heart feels whole. She is not a trophy to be displayed, and I would never allow her to be reduced to that. She is a soul who has walked through storms and emerged not bitter, but brighter. I have seen her stand against adversity with a strength that humbles me. I have seen her choose kindness when it would have been easier to be cruel. These are qualities no amount of youth can replace, no beauty can overshadow. The truth no one knows is that she has been with me in moments the world will never see. When the cameras were off, when the palace halls were silent, she was the one who listened to my thoughts when they turned dark, who reminded me of my purpose when I questioned it. She has been my anchor when the waves of public life threatened to pull me under. There is a different kind of romance in our love, a slower, deeper fire that does not burn out with time. We do not need to rush, for we understand the value of each moment. When I look at her, I do not see an age. I see a lifetime of experiences that have shaped her into the extraordinary woman she is today. And in her eyes, I see the reflection of the man I have always wanted to become. In a way, loving her has been an act of defiance. It is my way of telling the world that love cannot be dictated by norms or traditions. That a heart does not consult a calendar before it decides who to beat for. That sometimes, the most beautiful love stories are the ones that the world would least expect. We may never fit into the fairy tales written for princes and princesses, but ours is a story worth telling. It is a story of courage, authenticity, and an unshakable bond that grows stronger with every trial. And perhaps one day, when people are ready to see love for what it truly is, they will understand why I chose her, and why I would choose her again in every lifetime. So this is the truth about my older woman, the truth the world does not know. She is not just my love, she is my compass, my confidant, my greatest blessing. And in a life where everything is constantly changing, she remains my constant, my safe place, my home. I will guard her, cherish her, and honor her, not because I have to, but because she is the one soul who has made me realize that even a sheikh can be brought to his knees, not by power, but by love. There are moments when I watch her from a distance, unaware that she has caught my gaze. She will be reading, her fingers delicately turning the pages, her expression completely lost in another world. In those moments, I see the woman who taught me that peace is not found in grand gestures but in stillness. She is proof that love can live in the quiet spaces, in the pauses between words, in the way someone breathes beside you when they are completely at ease. That is a truth few will ever understand, yet it is the foundation of everything I feel for her. Her laughter is another secret I keep close to my heart. It is not the loud, attention-seeking laughter the world might expect, but a soft, melodic sound that escapes her lips when she feels truly free. I have spent years in rooms filled with people laughing for the sake of appearances, but hers is different. It is unguarded, pure, a melody that reminds me of simpler times when life was not measured in responsibilities and expectations. To hear it is to feel the weight of the world slip away. I have often wondered if I would have been strong enough to choose her if I had met her earlier in my life. Perhaps back then, I might have been swayed by the opinions of those around me, by the pressure to conform. But life has a way of preparing us for the love we are meant to find, and I believe every experience, every heartache, led me to her. When she came into my world, I was ready, not just to love her, but to protect her against the tide of judgment that would inevitably follow.